Okay, nice. So I invite you to switch on your camera so we can interact more easily, and mute your microphone so you are free to answer your call and your colleagues. Also, you feel free to enter your questions in the chat area. I have a look at this chat so I can answer your questions. Especially during the presentation, we make some pause during which I can look at your questions. Okay, thank you very much. And let's start on this webinar dedicated to AP420, our audio player, professional background music and message player. Just one slide about Wave System. We were founded 25 years ago. We are a French company. We design and manufacture our products and cloud solution internally, and we provide our solution worldwide through a network of distributors and integrators. You are welcome at ISE in our booth that we'll have in Barcelona in 2 weeks from now, so we can introduce each other. Reliability is a pillar of our values, with tens of thousands of customers using our products on a 24/7 way, very satisfied with reliability, with the quality as well of our solutions. You will find our products mainly in museums, theme parks, and retail shopping malls in more than 50 countries. A second pillar is the friendliness of our software. We push state-of-the-art technology with an ergonomic design that makes you more agile to install, to get trained. The target is to shorten the time of training and to shorten the time of installation. So let's look at AP420, this audio player. First, this is an audio player that embeds an intuitive calendar, and more than a calendar, tracks, playlist, complete content management system inside the player for broadcasting music and message. It can work online, it can also work offline with some precise timekeeping inside. So it's ideal for a single application. It can work by itself. Everything is in the box for a single endpoint, but it can also work as an equipment in a more complex, complete fleet. Our key markets are background music, especially in retail, message also in retail, including music and message. We also deliver more and more theme parks with this solution, and we also find application in schools mainly to ring the bell at precise time. It's very important to be very precise in schools. Okay, I have a more detailed chart where we can look at audio capabilities with high quality DAC, sampling frequency up to 96 kilohertz, bit depth up to 24 byte. All main codec are supported. Also, we can stream Icecast and Shoutcast streams, and we can stream two layers of sources. I will demo this feature. We can also secure your streaming in case of a break, of a leakage. We can activate some fallback content internally, locally, to make sure that you have continuous music working. The calendar is quite powerful. You can organize your music and your message. you can adjust the volume of message in comparison with the music, so to make message louder than the music. And we have the right features, functionality when we shuffle music. We make sure that we cover all your playlist before we start again. Okay, looking at storage, we start with the last one. We have internal storage, 4 GB. We can also expand internal storage with an internal USB port. This is something that Bernard knows. All the storage can be formatted through the interface of the player. We always recommend ext4 format, which is the most robust format system. So this format can be done through the player interface, and you can also have plug USB keys and micro SD on the front panel. The audio interface is based on an unbalanced stereo audio output. Ethernet is a 100 megabyte Ethernet connection. Some more USB. We have one input contact, one GPI, and two GPO, two output relay. And finally, WaveSpark is a complete cloud solution to manage your fleet of equipment, configure and control your players, manage in a central way your media library, your different calendars. And in addition, we push more and more features to save time when it comes to manipulate, to work with a lot of music. We deliver new features like audio normalization, automatic normalization. Okay, so here is an overview of the player. On the front, we also have some network activity, LEDs on the front panel, USB, micro SD, a reset button, and on the output, Cedric, please. On the output, we see RCA, two output relay, one GPI, some USB and Ethernet. Okay, so let's go into the interface. Okay, so here I'm connected to a single player through its DNS name. So I connect and I access a dashboard, a single dashboard, when I see the storage. Do you see my screen? It's okay, attendance? Is it okay? I hope so.
Yes, very clear.
Yeah, okay. So we see the storage that we use. We see that here we activate continuum. So we broadcast online. There is no cut. It's working nicely. This is the web radio we are broadcasting, and we see another small view of the calendar. We see that there's some message that will overlay the web radio at some times here. Now I will sign in. Okay. Now I access the media library, the calendar, settings, and playback engine. I will start with settings. Network, indeed, we support DHCP and IP and static IP. Date and time with your time zone, very important. Storage, you can select the storage you want, including now the one that is inside. System to reboot, shut down, and update online or through USB. One user with one password only to access the player. And finally, the portal to connect to the cloud. Here I'm already connected. On playback engine, I can adjust the main volume, the output level, and the gain of adverts in comparison with the music. Okay. Now we'll go to the CMS, the content management system, that's embedded inside the player itself. We will manage tracks with some pre-listen in the web page. So we can add new tracks from your computer. Based on these tracks, we will be able to create playlists. And when I edit the playlist here, I can add the tracks that I've pre-loaded, that I loaded in the track menu. Okay, that's how it works. Okay. Finally, we can declare web radio. This is the one we have. So the web radio is here. And the fallback content is selected here. Okay, once I'm done with my tracks and playlists, I can now create a calendar. So here it's full of stuff. I will go maybe on some other date. Okay, here I have nothing. Okay, so now we want to, I will double click at 7 a.m. and the interface suggests to create a music program or an advert program. Music program would be the layer of music, advert program would be the layer for message. Okay, low tempo, we start at 7 a.m. Here I select duration. Okay, this is the duration for 4 hours, so until 8 a.m. It will be low tempo. I can select playlists, several playlists, together with some tracks. Okay, now I can random the playback, use history. History, if you remember, make sure that we will go through each individual track before we start again. Loop, in case we need to repeat some tracks. And finally, repetition. From Monday to Friday, every month until 2049, for example. I can also add some date and exclude some date like Christmas, Thanksgiving, or whatever. And finally, I can also activate or deactivate some relay 1 and relay 2 if I want to connect the player to an amplifier with some priority management. So in this case, we can close the relay to get the priority on the amplifier. Okay. So now we have prepared some music here in our calendar. Let's say we have something very regular, but on Friday there is an event that needs a new program. So I can click add a new program as an exception. I'll go quickly. Okay, in this case, when we by default we play the first one, but when we reach the time of the second one has a priority. And when we end the second one, we go back to the first one. Okay. Now we can add message. Now my message, there are some specific rules to broadcast message, like if I want to a program with some scheme of repetition. So I could ask, for example, during 2 hours every 15 minutes, I want some message. The content can be a track, but can be also a playlist of message. And in this case, we can play random or not all tracks. So all tracks will be played during 2 hours every 15 minutes. Or only one will be played, and 15 minutes after a second one, then the third one, then the fourth one, then the first 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., etc. And repetition again. Okay. So during 2 hours, we have message running based on a playlist, and we pick up only one track inside out of the playlist to broadcast in this way. When the message is broadcasted, the music will lower, so we crossfade message with music, and message is played with the gain more volume than the music, and at the end we crossfade again. Okay. So we are done to as a first demo on the player itself, and I'm open to questions. Feel free to you can open your mic as well, so we can discuss more in details with the player itself. Then we will look at some case studies and move to WaveSpark to the cloud solution.
Thierry, what is the USB ports used for? I missed that.
Okay. Okay, so USB can be used as a extension of to connect a bigger storage like a SSD.
Okay.
Okay. USB can also power a Wi-Fi dongle that you connect, a Wi-Fi endpoint that you connect on Ethernet for the network and on USB for the power.
So what you're saying there is, on that point, I can have two networks connected to this device if I need to?
To network, no. There is only one network, but you can have a Wi-Fi extension by connecting Wi-Fi endpoint.
Yeah, access point. Okay, gotcha.
Access point.
Okay.
And the access point can be powered with USB. But you're right, there are somehow too many USB. Well, we may consider to remove one. And finally, we have one inside. So we can configure at the factory stage. We can custom the size of internal memory for you.
So all these USB ports are active and are all functional. So I can have multiple storages connected to this device, and the device will control it.
Or you can, but okay, yes, you can connect all of them because we deliver enough power to make all of them simultaneously. What will happen is that the storage is the place where you have not only your music but also your program. Let's say here everything I've prepared in my media library and calendar is stored inside internal storage. Okay. Now if I move to a back USB, I should have one. I will plug one. It can come with its own project, with its own music and calendar. But all this project in any time needs to be prepared using a player.
Okay.
Because when I here in my USB, when we upload files here, it's not only a file, it's not only tracks in a file that are stored like on your Windows operating system, track. No, it's a database. So it's not only files, it's a complete database. So you need to populate your USB stick by connecting your USB stick, selecting, connecting, selecting, and then filling your USB stick.
Okay.
Okay? Does it make sense?
It makes sense. And then when you're setting up your playlist, you can have media from anywhere internally, any USB ports, and play them.
No, it's separated. When you select your storage, it's one, and all other are ignored.
Okay.
And your storage can support tracks and projects, but when you build your tracks and projects, you need to use the web interface because we indent all tracks in a database. We index all tracks in a database. But let's consider you have some project that we have prepared for an event. You could have it on your USB stick. You need to prepare it using an AP420, but you could have it, and when you plug it, you need to select the right port, and then it will swap to this project.
Okay, and then you build your project from that source. Okay.
Yes, you need to build your project using this interface. There is no other way. Cloud is another way. You can create your project using an AP420 or using the cloud. That's what we will see later on. But you don't have a tier piece of software or a script or something that you can do by hand. This is not possible.
Okay, thank you.
And Yannick asked us, how do we automatically switch back from the fallback? Okay. RCR notification. It's automatic. I don't know if everybody sees the question, so I will move it here. How do you automatically switch back from the fallback to a live stream? Are there notifications? Okay, this is automatic. We look at we monitor the buffer, and we have information here. So notification is given on the dashboard. Does it answer your question, Yannick? Okay, nice. Any other question? Okay, I will just cover some customers that trust the solution. Wim Production is a music provider that runs more than 100 equipment worldwide with a player and the cloud on top of it. Technical Address is an integrator who equip a lot of schools. We also have great success in the Netherlands with the product in schools as well. And Mobile Zoo is maybe one of the biggest in Europe, who runs 50 music zone. There are 50 zones in the park, and they are also using AP420 to handle music and also message. Message are quite complex in this installation because Monday is different from Tuesday. High season is different from low season. Quite complex. And I have another question from Alan. Can we sort the playlist? Rearrange what to play first? Okay, that's a good question. Let's go in our playlist. I will take more than two. Okay. Okay. Yes, Teenage Dream. I will put it up. Bon appetit. Yes, we can rearrange the tracks inside the playlist. Yes. Okay. Okay, now we will move to the cloud solution. We call it WaveSpark. And I will directly go into the interface. Okay. So this is a SaaS solution that you can connect from anywhere, completely a scalable solution. So you can connect thousands of players and terabytes of music. This is a scalable platform. On the left menu, we have the player fleet, the media library. That's quite similar to a single player for the media library. Projects, what we will be able to handle several projects, and administration. Okay. Let's dig into the player menu chart. So here it's serial number, player name, player state. When I click on player state, I access every single parameters of a single machine. Group, there is a tagging system, so I'm able to have one or several tags on for my player. This will be useful when I want to sort my list of equipment. Service state is active, so the player you can enroll the player to the platform without a license. So you have, for example, you do some events, so you have your players always connected and ready to play, but they are not active. And you can activate your player at the very last time. So here that's what we have. It's active. So when it's active, I can push projects and updates to the player. Here are the projects. So these players are running internal projects, and this one we have pushed webinar. If I look at it, webinar is the upcoming project that we pushed today, but that will be published the 20th. So it's downloaded in the background. It's downloaded, but it's not published yet. Firmware, very important. You can push firmware update through the platform, and you have multi-selection. Okay, so when I select, if I sort my list, and I can make the multi-selection to these two machines. Okay. Groups is just a screen where we create the tags. On media library, similar to the player, we have a list of tracks. The player has not so much power. You can push a few hundreds or few thousands tracks inside a player. Here on the cloud, there is no limitation, so you can store even more tracks. You can also create your playlist. Again, reorganize. Here on the cloud, you can upload your tracks not only from the media library, the cloud library, but also directly from your computer. So if you have prepared your playlist at home on your computer, you can directly upload them into the playlist menu. And web radio, similar to what we saw on a single player. Now let's go to the project list. One project, basically, is one calendar. So I can manage many calendars inside the project list. I can also duplicate one, let's say, project. I can duplicate one project, and I can create or edit my project. Colin asked questions. Once the system is configured, can it be used offline or does it need to stay on the network? Okay. Colin asked us, for a single player, it will work once it's ready. It can work offline. It will keep the time using a precise RTC, and so it can be out of internet. It can also be out of any local network. It can work completely offline. Yes. Okay, so we have this powerful calendar that we can duplicate and create and duplicate inside this interface. Now I want to push my project on a player. I'm able to push. Okay, let's say Baccarat 2. And I want to push it. I will make it this way. Okay, so now we have some feedback about what's happening between the cloud and the player. Let's consider, you need to consider that the cloud is a leader system, and in this case, player is a follower system that will take just an image of your copy the project locally in order to broadcast the project locally. Okay, so here we have an update about the downloading phase and then the publish phase. So we have feedback, so we are reassured about the behavior of the system. Okay, so now it's ready it's already downloaded and ready to swap. But as I mentioned, it will swap in 1 hour. Okay, I would like to have one player without activation, but so let's look at the service itself. So we see that it's active for 12 months. You have two choices. You can activate for 1 month in case of events, or you can activate for 12 months. Here with automatic renewal. This part requires some is a paid service, and the amount you pay is directly computed inside the platform. So on the administration, you access directly your billing. So you see what the plan you have. I will demo after that. The plan you have, the number of players you have, and all the computation for the next billing, and your history can be also downloaded here. And the payment method is directly filled inside the platform. Okay, so about this service. When you look at the solution, we have 3 plans. Okay, we have a standard plan, pro, and premium. So one I demo to you is the standard one with player fleet management. store tracks and playlists on the cloud, read and declare web radio, message management, music and message calendar. The Pro will be released in 2 weeks with automatic audio normalization, and a few weeks after, broadcast reports and tagging. And finally, Premium will enable some custom interface with your branding, for example, and more interactivity with the system. That's something we are still working on, and we are eager to get your feedback also to make it more to make some adjustment. But we are considering to make contextual message. For example, you push one message or music in regards with traffic or in regards with weather forecast. Could be also some offer solution to leave the calendar but select locally some specific playlist. So this is something more with much more features and more clever, I would say, broadcasting. This is something that will come later on. Okay. Okay, now it's time for questions and deeper demo if you wish. Just want to make sure that I've covered everything. Yes. Okay, Yannick, is there a way to sync a playlist, for example, with an S3 bucket or another cloud storage service? Okay, that's a good question. I don't have a clear I cannot answer straightforward. Maybe yes. So we are using S3 buckets in our system. So we can activate when you create an account. Maybe, I don't know, Yannick, if you are in the US but first we can select bucket in your territory to have more performance. So we can activate on your account. We can select buckets in the US for you, or in Japan, or whatever close to your market. And then connection with tier bucket. Yannick, okay, you are in Austria. Okay, you work with Bernard. Okay. So we can have your bucket located close to Austria, that's the first one, and then connect with your own bucket that you manage by yourself. This is something that we need to look at. That maybe I think it's possible, but I don't have the clear answer right now. So let's work on it. I would say. Okay, Yannick in Austria. Right now, I think your bucket Sound DNA. We could have a look at it. I think it's in Frankfurt. We can migrate them. That's something we can do also. And then connect to tier service. That's something we should consider. Let's have a short call to make sure that I understand what you need. So on WaveSpark, we have covered most of the solution. Okay. Did I forget something? I don't know. I think no. So the next release will be the Pro version. It's planned. It's confirmed the 4th of February, first day of ISE. That's what we are preparing now. And in 2025, both on cloud and on player, we'll work on reports. The first one that needs to gather information from the cloud and from the player, and then we will end Pro definitely, and on the Premium we'll start working on some more complex, some complex, more interaction that we can offer as a store manager. That's something that we'll prepare later on this year. Okay. Okay, we covered this. There are some links that you can refer to, product page, some technical data sheet, and user guide of the player itself. Feel free also to book more one-to-one demo. That's something we will appreciate and we'll be very pleased to do with you. And you will receive some satisfaction question at the end of your webinar. So if there's something that we can improve for this webinar, please let us know through this the form. Okay. Thank you very much. And I'm available for your questions. Thank you.